We are almost there. Bears, Packers, perfect December day for this game. And one more hour to break it all down. We got multiple people at Lambeau this week. So much coverage coming your way from now until the end of the night. It all starts right now on CHGO Bears Pregame.
I'm going to die.
Nothing to it. Just got to go up to Lambeau Field and get a win against the Green Bay Packers. We'll get it done. This is the CHGO Bears podcast, proudly presented by our friends at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code CHGO365 when you sign up, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365, and it certainly is not ordinary today. Adam Hoge, Corey Wootton, Greg Braggs Jr. The dude brought a shovel to CHGO so he could shovel the balcony.
That's right.
Even though we have a watch-along, you can watch the entire time with us today as we go through this. But Braggs had to bring the shovel.
Yeah, it's a safe place outside. He said during the game, if I get stressed out, I want to go out there.
That's right. That's exactly why. I mean, it's been
Peppers.
Loaded up with snow for weeks now. This snow is relentless here early in the season.
I like it.
And so I brought the shovel, shoveled the back porch, the back balcony. I even shoveled the entryway to our garage. Thank you very much. You may not have known that, but I did that as well. That was mostly because
time out. You did the steep ramp down to the garage?
Yes.
Not the people that work here that are supposed to do it?
I beat them. They got there right at the end as I was getting ready to do the stairs. But I got the ramp because I didn't want. That was more just because I didn't want to crash a second car this year into the concrete barrier at the bottom. So I worked it out.
That is a weird entrance down there.
Yeah. I got the angles. I can drive down there, but the ice,
For the record, I showed up right at the end of this whole thing.
Convenient.
And Braggs is out there with a couple of dudes. I looked like you were tipping them, and I didn't know what was going on. I thought you had orchestrated somebody off the street to come and shovel everything. And I'm like, what is happening? And you didn't notice me, which was great. And I just pulled in calmly and then took a nap in the corner of the garage.
You tipped the guys.
We are.
Did you tip them?
No, we were talking.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you tipped guys when that's literally their job to do it.
They should have tipped you.
And you helped them?
Right.
They should have tipped you.
The tip was
you helped them.
The tip was I told them, hey, you did this. I didn't do this. That was the tip.
Braggs wanted to make sure they still get paid because Braggs is a good man,
yeah.
which is a great reason why the Bears are going to win today. Yeah. Let's get into it here. Kickoff is, 58 minutes away, whatever it is. Again, we're doing our watch-along all day long, post-game afterwards, brick by brick after that, so we're with you the rest of the day. But we always start our pregame show with what matters most. So, Hoge, what the hell matters the most today? Because there's a lot of things that matter if the Bears are going to win.
Yeah, well, look, there's been a lot of talk about the passing game this week, and as I've outlined a couple times as we've relentlessly broken this game down, I think it's huge the Bears run the ball and get their takeaways, like the formula of victory and all that. But Ben Johnson did challenge his passing game to take a step forward. And since he's done that, we've learned, although I think he knew this probably at the time, maybe not, that Rome Odunze is not going to play. So, I really think this is on Caleb Williams. It's a great day, a great opportunity for him to take a big step forward. Nationally televised game. Tom Brady on the call. Packers, Bears. He told Kyle Brandt he wants to do a Lambeau leap. So go do it, man. I mean, go get your Lambeau leap. Go get your big signature win. And Caleb Williams in that passing game taking a step forward to me is what matters most. Short term to win today and long term to win who knows what this year.
A double-double combo out of Hoge on the what matters most. I like it.
I know. I would love that for Caleb Williams to have his signature game. I think the passing game, has been up and down, work in progress. But like you said, what better game than this one at Lambeau have his iconic Lambeau leap and dethrone the Packers in a season that's been unbelievable for the Bears. But for me, what matters most has to be to stop the running game. Josh Jacobs, I think that's the number one factor. I think, he's been chunky this year, right? In sporadic, sometimes it's been good, sometimes it's been bad. But I think the thing is, if you could stop the run, put the pressure on Jordan Love, and really be able to heat him up, I think the Bears, Dennis Allen and company, can dial it up for him. Because Jordan Love, he likes to get the ball out quick. But if you could do press coverage, we got some of these defensive backs back. Press coverage, dial up the blitz, force some errant throws. I think this is a game where the Bears can get after him. And I think this would be a huge win, offensive, defensively, to have everything come together special teams-wise as well. So it's got to be to stop the run with Josh Jacobs.
So it's interesting. We had Wayne Larrivee on this week, and he was just talking about, because Jacobs is averaging less than 4 yards a carry. It's like, that ain't his fault. He's been getting hit before the line of scrimmage all season long. And then you look at the Bears, and Next Gen Stat had it out there, Tribune had this week, that the Bears own the league's slowest average get-off. The entire NFL, Bears, worst. So
That checks out.
It does. And also, hey, you guys, the Bears are getting healthier. Grady Jarrett has doing himself. He's moving along. So maybe that changed today. But it's definitely something to pay attention.
Slowest get off the ball?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's something that I've been talking about from the beginning.
Yep.
Like when you look at it, they're not firing off the ball like we see some other place. You look at the other side of the ball, Micah Parsons. He's the first person off the ball pretty much every snap.
That's scouting, though. I mean, like, you drafted a Jervon Dexter when we knew that was his number one thing. Montez Sweat, good trade, bad trade, but I'd never heard anyone talk about Montez Sweat about his outstanding get-off. Yep. So when you make those acquisitions, and nobody should be surprised then if that's an issue.
Exactly. Like, you can look at a lot of these guys from the time they were in Pop Warner football. I guarantee you Micah Parsons was the first person off the ball, whatever position he was playing. It's hard to learn that, and especially like we were talking about Jervon Dexter. He's in a reading-style defense in Florida, and there was times where you watch his film in college, and it's like the ball snaps, 1,000, 2,000. Then he gets out of his stance. You're like, how could you play defensive line at that point?
Right. Yeah, I totally see and understand why the metrics say that they don't get off the ball better than they're one of the worst in the league, right? So that makes sense. But I will say, over the last month, over this 5-game winning streak, Montez Sweat has started to emerge a little more than what we saw to start the year. Grady Jarrett started to get a little healthier. And Austin Booker, with Dio Dangbo going out for a year and Austin Booker getting the opportunity, he has made an impact in every game. Now, has it been consistent through 4 quarters? Maybe not, but he has found a way to push that, tackle back. He's got that straight arm bar that he's been going to a little more than we saw in his rookie season. He's got the speed. We understand that. And also the physicality. How many times has Austin Booker here in the last 5 weeks had an impact play from a physical standpoint, knocking Jackson Dart out of the game on a chase down, and getting to the quarterback and forcing a fumble, right? So there have been a couple sparks. You're going to need more than a spark in a day like today, because 100% you cannot let Jordan Love just sit back there and make a sandwich. You got to get to the quarterback, because if you let him, give him too much time, we can talk about the moon balls and how it's crazy just as a Bears fan rooting against Green Bay, the last few weeks where he just completes passes that you would just think are Hail Mary throws, but he does them so consistently. It's a part of his game. But beyond that, Jordan Love has been very accurate this year. Like, he throws with very good precision and accuracy, take away the moon balls. So the Bears got to find a way to disrupt. But my biggest key, bouncing off of that, is time of possession. The Bears dominated time of possession against the Eagles, and that was a big factor in why they won that football game. 40 minutes to 20 minutes in an NFL football game is almost unheard of. Now, I don't expect that level of domination. That was crazy. If that happens again, you 100% will be sitting here on the postgame talking about a win. But you've got to do everything you can to play keep away from a Green Bay Packers offense that is starting to click a little bit, even without Tucker Kraft, because now Jaden Reed enters the fold, and that's somebody that is an X factor and a playmaker for this team. So they're going to have their work cut out. last week was their biggest test. Now this week has become their biggest test. The tests only get bigger as the season goes on, so the Bears got to keep away from a tough Green Bay offense.
And one thing I want to touch on when you're talking about the defensive line and Austin Booker, right? He's really flashed, but I'm going to make an argument that I think this game comes down to the interior two, Grady Jarrett and Gervon Dexter, because if they can push the pocket, they don't have to win every time, but if they can get somebody in Jordan Love's face, that's going to make Austin Booker, Montez Sweat job that much easier. He's going to get the ball out quicker. It's going to be hard for him to complete passes, finish throws. So I think those two and Grady Jarrett, right, the timing of everything, him getting healthier with that knee, we've seen him really come along. So I think the key is him and Gervon Dexter in there getting that push.
Yep.
Penetration in the run game and then push in that pass game.
And having Billings here, because I wasn't sure if Billings was going to be able to play, being in concussion protocol early in the week. For the fact that he's playing in this game is big as well.
I talked to Big Bill on Friday. He's ready to go.
That's great.
I kind of paraded around the locker room and just asked everybody, would you rather play in 95-degree, 100-degree heat, or would you rather play in 2-degree weather, which is what the Bears are going to be dealing with today? What's your answer to that?
He probably said the weather like today.
So he said the heat because and it was an interesting reason
Big
why
fella.
he said it. Yeah, because he's like it gets all hot out there, those dudes get tired, and I get a chance to make plays.
Oh, he said I don't get tired.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like
Kevin
Big
Gates,
Bill.
baby.
I'm like, Big Bill, you in 100 degrees, I'm thinking that you're huffing and puffing. But, hey, he's betting on himself in that heat. So I thought that was interesting. For me, what matters most is, look, the Bears somehow lead the NFL in explosive plays, 94 of them. And I learned about this midway through the season. You guys were talking about it, and my head was elsewhere. And now I've kind of just digested the fact that an explosive play, for those not paying attention, that's a pass of over 20 yards or a run of over 10 yards. So, yes, to your point, Gregory, controlling the clock and all that, that obviously is super important. But you're going to have to hit some big ones today. And whether it's through the air and Caleb hitting to a level – without Rome Odunze, his first game ever missed, which is obviously not a positive going into today, but guys are going to get an opportunity to step up. DJ Moore, can he have his biggest game of the year? Luther Burden, can you step into that? Alameda, can you be the Alameda from preseason all of a sudden that steps in here? Plus, of course, all the tight ends. I'm going to put a bet on Cole Kmet to have a decent day. We'll get to that in a minute here. So somehow, some way, they're going to have to hit some home runs here in addition to being methodical. So leaning in. So I put as my what matters most is to continue to explode, which was fun to write. And
it was fun to hear too.
Yeah. So there you go.
Big buck.
All right,
hunter.
let's focus on this big story though that we really haven't had much time to talk about. I mean, Rome Odunze dealing with the stress fracture, reportedly, and it doesn't completely shock me because I pointed out, I think it was after the Bengals game, that just something didn't seem the same for him. And then shortly after that, he ended up on the injury report. Remember, he has been on the injury report a few times.
Right.
And he's played anyway, and then he kind of came off the injury report, and then he was back on it this week, and now it's to the point that he's going to miss some time, whether that's a few weeks, 1 game, 2 games, 3 games. We'll find out. They didn't put him on IR though yesterday, so that was a good sign. But yeah,
the NFL Network that reported that he's got a stress fracture in his foot. He's been dealing with that for a long time. That was a significant report.
Which matches the film to me, because I thought earlier in the season his route running was crisp. It looked really good, and then there was a drop off in production, and there was a drop off for me in some of the ways that he was cutting in his routes.
And what's crazy is on the play that him and Caleb couldn't connect on last week in the Eagles in the end zone, that was a great route.
Yeah,
but then he slipped trying to come back, or his foot obviously gave way, whatever you want to say, gave way coming back to the ball there. So maybe that obviously had something to do with it. But the start of the route, the stem of the route, it was like, wow, that's elite.
Well, the way that Ben's talking about this is the exact same way that he was talking about DeAndre Swift early in the year, because they asked him on Friday, like, what's the status with him? So, well, he hasn't practiced all week, so we'll see. And I was like, oh, he's not playing. That's pretty obvious. And what they did with Swift was give him a couple weeks off and got, or at least 1 week off, and then got him right. And that's where they've gotten to with Rome. you look at the schedule, and, of course, the Browns are up next. You would think that that's a game that you could perhaps lean into the luxury of not playing Rome against a Shedeur Sanders-led Browns team and give them the 2 weeks here.
Well,
and
it's
then
actually more, right? 9 days from the Eagles game to this game, then a week to the Browns game, and then a week to the Packers home game. That's 3 weeks.
Sure. So give them the extra time and try to get them as right as possible for the stretch run here.
Yep, and I think that's the great part of what they did this offseason, right? Getting a guy like Luther Burden. Right, they already had DJ Moore, but Colston Lovin as well, revamping that offense, having weapons available. So I think this is a game where we're going to see Colston Loveland and Luther Burden really come out. Like, I really do think that. I think it's prime for it, the matchups. Luther Burden, I mean, his route running, his hands have been awesome. Him and Caleb seem to be on the same page. So what better than Packer Week to have both of our rookies really have great games?
Current temperature in Green Bay is somewhere between, I haven't looked in the last hour, so 10 and 15 degrees, going down to 2. Anybody worry about throwing the ball to Luther Burden? Anybody in that type of weather?
Well, it will be interesting to see how some of these guys have never really experienced Green Bay weather. Let's put it that way. I mean, Luther Burden grew up St. Louis area, Missouri, went to Mizzou.
Loveland went to Michigan.
Loveland, I'm a little bit, yeah. I mean, Loveland, Michigan's, I would say, a little bit different. So, but they've been practicing in it. I thought Matt LaFleur said it well this week when he was asked about the Lambeau advantage. And he's like, well, it's not really an advantage when the other team gets to practice in it too. So, it's completely different when you have like a California team coming out when they can't practice in it during the week. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to affect both teams, but, well, I mean, I think it's negligible, which I think is the word that Matt LaFleur used.
Well, I mean, this kind of game is, I mean, you can talk about this better than anybody, but this is about who's toughest, right? Mm-hmm. And not saying Green Bay isn't capable of being tough, but I know the Bears have shown toughness this year. So whether it's Miami all the way back at training camp, all the way to the Eagles last week on Black Friday, if you're buckling up the chin strap to play the Bears this year, you're in for a fist fight, and you better be ready to throw punches.
And that's been the great part about this team is in the past, they never had this lever to pull in cold weather games where you can dominate people. And just seeing the schemes that Ben Johnson puts together, the trickery, right, with the motions and creating these mismatches. So I think everything is primed for this to be in the Bears' favor. I think they're the more physical team. I think they have the better running game right now. Now it's all about making plays off that, the play action. Yep. So I think this is a game that, like, this could be a signature game for Caleb. And it doesn't have to be 300-plus yards, but be very efficient and in the red zone capitalize. Get 7 instead of 3.
Micah Parsons is probably not listening to this show right now, but if he is, he wants to fight you.
That whole thing with Micah this week was hilarious.
Yeah.
His quote was, I just don't like them because I just see the disrespect. I play for respect. You know how to earn someone's respect is beating the bleep out of them. You two are talking about how they're more physical.
Yeah.
Micah's like,
but shout out to the Green Bay reporters, because I'm not sure who it was, but one of them was like, what are you talking about? Nobody disrespects you.
Yeah.
Like, you're double teamed every play.
Exactly.
What in the world? And he's like, oh, I kind of got it. He's like, I got to create my own disrespect.
He's doing a Jordan, just making LeBradford Smith up to get himself ready. By the way, Micah's got 6 sacks in his last 3 games, 12 and a half on the year.
As a pass rusher, he's probably the closest thing we've seen to Lawrence Taylor in a long time. Mm-hmm. But in the run game, I'll tell you what, if I'm the Bears, I'm going at him.
Oh,
right?
Okay,
I'm going to set the tone.
Okay,
This is a physical smash mouth. Yes, he's a great pass rusher, but I'm going to like the double teams on him all day, especially in the run game. And drive off the ball.
You know, you're setting some things off when Jared Payton is clapping back at you, and he said of Micah Parsons, quote, Micah hasn't been in Green Bay long enough to even speak on this rivalry, and his comments feel so forced. Sunday can't get here soon enough. Well, it's here. It's here. Ding, ding.
Though, like, what is he?
Yeah.
This is your first Bears-Packer game. What are you talking about?
all that's great. And shout out Micah. Lean into the rivalry. Let's go. Let's get some hatred going.
And I haven't
here.
leaned heavily into the Ozzy Trapillo receipts, but if he does a good job against Micah Parsons today,
Well, it's
hellfire and brimstone is coming for many.
that's an interesting point.
Chip help all day because they kick him out of the game.
13 personnel. Get a tight end behind him and a tight end on the side of him.
Before we hit the break, let's hit this big money super chat that just came in. Ian, the Bear Dude in Malibu, $50.
Malibu.
Says, long-time listener, first-time commenter. You guys rule the Bears airwaves. Thanks for all of the insightful content and commentary. Kept me going for years. Bears will shred Packers like Eddie Van Halen shreds.
Ooh, good luck with that.
Carm?
Come on, Mr. Singer.
Yingwi
Malmsteen?
You went above us there on this
Yeah.
one, Ian the Bear Dude. We got to work on it.
Go ahead and jump, though. I know that. I mean,
There we go.
Yeah, we
There we
got
go.
that part of it. Ian, we appreciate you. Thank you for the big money super chat.
All right,
You're the
let's get to our pregame picks. Let's try to make you some money, and we've got both Durham Smythe, Drew Dahlman from the locker room this week that we'll bring to you coming up here. John's from Green Bay. So much to do, but first, shout out to our friends at Bet365. Did you do the early payout today, there, Hoger? Did you lean in on the old Miami Dolphins?
No, that was not. I was not expecting the Dolphins to go up by 17.
A lot of people bet the Jets today. I'd like to call all those people completely and utterly that's just blasphemer.
I bet
There's
the
a word.
Jaguars.
Good bet. Way to go. Hey, you should have
Good,
done
better, best.
Good, better, best. Do it on Bet365. You know why? Because you can double your winnings on parlays with Bet365 100% parlay boost. You can do this by downloading the app and using the code CHGO365 when you sign up. And a reminder, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Breaking news. New customers, you get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5. Win or lose, you sign up, use the code CHGO365. Deposit 10, place the bet for 5, $150 in bonus bets. Use it at anything, spreads, totals, player props, futures, or more. Whatever the moment, never ordinary. Got to be 21 or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, in-app only.
And if you're looking for the best place, the best spot to catch your favorite games this season, we got a place that checks all the boxes. Chef-driven, elevated bar food that's locally inspired. Amazing smash burger, tavern-style pizza. Of course, I'm talking about Almost Home Tavern. It's not just about the food, though, because they have a ton of games. Pool, darts, Carm's favorite game.
Big Buck Hunter.
And shuffleboard, which is an indoor game.
Yeah.
Yes. Wall-to-wall TVs. Watch
Wa-
any sport. Great on Sundays.
Yeah.
Especially when they got all the different games on. Covered beer garden. When
They got a great staff. Good people.
great staff. They are great
The
people.
hot honey pizza is my favorite there.
And it's right by Wrigley Field, so it's perfect for Cub season as well. Go check out our favorite place, Almost Home Tavern.
So hot. So honey. Look at him. That's my honey over there. Look at him. Not
The
listening.
That's your honey?
The Honey Bear?
Hot Honey Bear Pizza. They should rename it for you. That'd
They
be
should. The Hot Honey Bear Pizza.
Uh-oh. Hey, we have yet to show you the inactives today. No huge surprises here, but let's pop them on the screen.
One little surprise, right?
I guess Dom Rob's a little bit of surprise. That's fair. But there they are for you. Rome and Tyreek and Ruben and Dom Rob and Jonathan Ford and Case Keenum.
Well, and Whoop made a good point here during the break that kind of means the Bears only have what I would say 3.5 defensive ends today.
Who's the half?
Daniel Hardy,
Probably going to be like a pass rush.
which is not a shot at him.
situation
He's
type.
been playing multiple positions. He's
Yeah.
been playing some linebacker too. He's mainly a special teamer. So yeah, you have Montez Sweat, you have Austin Booker, and then you have Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, who's still on the team.
I know, especially with the rotation. Like that kind of concerns me, especially if Daniel Hardy has to go there and run downs at any point if somebody gets banged up.
Do you throw DeMarco Jackson on the edge? Just
Not big enough.
He's not big enough.
But it will be, the linebackers will be fascinating today with TJ Edwards.
right.
coming
That's
back.
that was where I was kind of getting at with that.
They had success with the dime looks. Last week there were some snaps where they literally lined up C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Kyler Gordon like next to each other as if they were edge rushers, and then you got to figure out which one's coming. Sometimes both. So, I mean, this has been, among all the fun things that we've experienced with this team this year, to me, the let's call it like the chameleon-esque vibe with this defense. Dennis Allen, I feel like, has run 5 different defenses this season, and because at one point he had no DBs, then he had no linebackers, and now he has too many DBs, and they've never really had a consistent pass rush with the D linemen at any point. So watching Dennis Allen kind of week by week do the same thing that Ben Johnson's doing on offense too. He'll change the game plan up. He's going week by week, opponent by opponent, which he said he was going to do. What a great fit these two have been together, as head coach / OC and DC. I could, even though they never coached together, you could see why why Ben Johnson wanted to go hire Dennis Allen. It's been a great fit.
Dennis Allen has been remarkable with, like you said, with the injuries that they've had. At one point in time, they had 0 starters at linebacker. Figured out a way to get a win. On Jalen Johnson, arguably one of the best corners in the league, has been out for a while. Able to get wins. Noshawn Wright stepping up. So Dennis Allen, what he's been able to do with a limited pass rush, because that's been the Achilles heel of this defense. But being able to dial it up in particular situations, I mean, hats off to him. He's done an incredible job. It'll be interesting to see next year when they really focus, because I think this Bears defense is a 3 technique and a right end away from being one of the best in the league.
Who plays the mic today? Do you leave DeMarco there, or do you put it all on TJ and say, hey, I guess you're healthy, so go do it? I mean, it seems like a lot to put him back in there, but he's obviously done it a ton. So if he is healthy, he's healthy.
Yeah, TJ was the weak side linebacker, though.
Exactly.
No, they had switched him because
correct.
He's done both.
He's played it a ton.
So now I would say that go back to the weak side where he was before. Before this season, because DeMarco Jackson's been so good at the mic.
Yeah,
I wouldn't move DeMarco. I wouldn't move DeMarco when they've seemingly have found a home for him.
That's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I guess for this game I could go that way, but if TJ was fully healthy, wouldn't you want him to play the position that he was playing his best?
Yeah, but he was
this
playing
season?
there because Tremaine was the DA.
Okay.
TJ Edwards moved to the middle not because he was bad as a weak side linebacker. Yeah. He had been a good weak side linebacker here. It was because they wanted to move Tremaine into a different spot and try him there. And they actually tried both of them. So to me, this is more about the question then becomes when Tremaine Edmonds comes back, you want to put him back to where he was having all that success this season. That's when you jump back around. But we know TJ can play all 3 linebacker positions if he needs to. And so I just wouldn't want to mess with DeMarco Jackson, who's, honestly looked like a starter the last couple of weeks at the mic.
Yeah, it's great to have him back just because of before the injury. Playing lights out as well. So you're going to need him this week, especially when you got Tremaine out. So this is one I've been excited for all week. The rivalry at Green Bay, cold weather. Doesn't get better than this.
I want to throw up. I'm so unbelievably stressed out.
All right, just relax. Johns is coming up with a little live Lambo. Let's do our pregame picks here, though. Sponsored by our friends at Bet365. It is never ordinary at Bet365, and there you go. Same game parlay, the CHGO parlay, Bears and Packers. So it's the Jordan Love 1+ interceptions, Caleb Williams with 30 or more pass attempts, and Kyle Monangai with 40 rushing yards. You get plus 600 on that. So can they pick off Jordan Love? He's thrown 3 all year. You're making a bit of a leap there. Of course, the Bears lead the NFL with 17 interceptions, and you're also having Caleb throw it a lot. They also had another one on there that yours truly leaned into and did play today, which
it's on the screen.
Which is now on the screen too. Great. Thank you, Hoge. It's the same game parlay plus 1,000 Bears money line. So Bears to win. Caleb with 200 or more passing yards, and DeAndre with 50 rushing yards.
Yeah,
I like those odds.
So I like that.
I like that.
10-1.
I get 10-1. Also 6-1 on the other one. That seems a little bit more realistic. I like both of these. If you go on the Bet365 app, the one that's plus 1,000 is called the Bear Down parlay, and then the one next to it is the CHGO Bears parlay. Both of those are there for you when you click on the Bears-Packers game within that awesome Bet365 app.
A little surprised. Sean Anderson is certainly really good with, betting odds and everything like that's. He's sharp. He's sharp with it.
He is.
But I would push. I am just surprised he's confident in 30-plus pass attempts for Caleb Williams. That seems high to me.
In the cold weather game.
Yeah.
Well, look, the Bears are – to have run success today, they're going to have to run between the tackles. The Packers have a lot of speed on the outside. So do you think they're going to continue to hammer the ball up the middle? I don't know.
The one great part is they don't have Kenny Clark there anymore. I mean, he was a monster in there in the middle. Right. So not having him, I agree with you, Carman. I would attack the middle of the field. But I think this might be a game where, they mix and match the run and pass the best they have this season. Yeah. I really feel like Ben Johnson is coming into his own. And I think this is going to be a signature game, honestly. And I look at how they did last year against the Packers. They dominated them in both games. So I look for him to have probably his best offensive game calling.
All right, we'll get into our own picks, by the way, and everybody can hate on me and Braggs, not to give anything away. But why don't we go up to Lambeau Field, where our battled through a rough week, but he's smiling today. Adam Johns, good afternoon, sir.
What's going on, fellas? It's been a week, but we're here in beautiful Lambeau Field. I'm looking outside here. The fans are starting to come in. Some tailgaters still out there getting warm, getting ready for this game.
Johns, Braggs was up early here at CHGO digging out the driveway, the ramp down to the parking garage. Which I know you're not really familiar with because I think you've only been here once since you've worked here. But we'll see you at the party tomorrow night, our little holiday get-together.
Yes.
My question to you, though, is were you and Pat up early this morning at Lambeau shoveling out the stands with all those Greg Braggs, like Green Bay version of him that just come out? And I think they actually do get paid to do it, but, yeah, that's how they handle snow at Lambeau.
A short answer is absolutely not. I was still in Chicago digging myself out. It set me back at least an hour and a half. 6-7 inches of snow in Chicago. They had a bunch up here. You can still see. There we go. I feel like I'm saying that every single show now. 6-7. It just won't end. There's still some snow on top of the goalposts, but no, absolutely not. I was worried about my own problems getting out of the city of Chicago to get up here.
There is no Green Bay version of me with those losers.
I don't know. Wow. I mean, I can look out this window and find some if you want.
Why don't you pelt him with a snowball or chuck one of your sandwiches from the press room for me, Adam?
They got brats. You can throw some brats.
Throw a brat.
Yeah.
Jazzy, why don't you lean into our how much Caleb is going to throw today conversation. You could throw the weather in there, too, and throw Rome not on the field. Where do you think the Bears have an edge?
Well, I would start with the running game coming after that Eagles game. They rushed the ball over 40 times, 281 yards. Something is working, something is clicking. And you look at the Bears matchup against the Packers, and they have some injuries up front. So I would think right up the middle is something the Bears want to expose, want to attack, at least test early on in this game, especially with it being 10, 15 degrees and it getting colder every minute that we're up here. The play action game, guys, has worked throughout the entire year. I don't think that's going to change. To me, the Caleb Williams question is, can he consistently hit those early enough in this game where he's hot and he's feeling in rhythm throughout the entire game? Because we see when he misses those early, then he's starting to flirt with the completion percentage in the 50s, 55, 60. And we all know that Ben Johnson wants to get that a bit higher.
Johnsy, they got one of the best pass rushers in the league in Micah Parsons. What do you think Ben Johnson and this offense's plan against him, especially in the pass rush, especially with Ozzie Trapillo out there, rookie left tackle?
A couple things. I would run the ball right at him. I think that could be Well, I think it's been a strategy for a lot of great pass rushers. Sometimes the best way to attack them is to attack them with some violence and going straight after them. But it's also staying out of those 3rd and longs, 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 10 plus. Because if you get in those situations against the Green Bay Packers, then Micah Parsons is going to be a problem, because that's where he can really peel back and get after Caleb Williams. So if you stay out of those situations, if you're positive on 1st and 2nd downs, especially with your run game, then I think Ben Johnson will have a plan to keep Micah Parsons as ineffective as you possibly can. He's going to make his plays. He's that good. He's that spectacular as a player. But can you limit the amount of plays that he wrecks? Like, that's the question for the Bears and Ben Johnson in this one.
If there's one guy on this team that I've always had the utmost belief in, it's Cairo Santos, and I'm curious, Johns, how he's looked out there in the cold, blistery conditions of Lambeau, here for pregame warmups.
Now, we have seen him out here make his 50-plus yarders, 52 and 55.
Of course.
I got on video him making a 52-yarder through the south end zone. Yes, the south end zone. It was a low-line drive, so I know fans don't like seeing that, but the conditions are going to come into play again. It seems like his range could be in that 45 to 50-plus range, that area in the field today. I'm not sure how windy it's going to be. It looks pretty mild at this moment. I have a big window right here overlooking all the parking lots here at Lambeau Field, but the conditions, I feel like, guys, has been a conversation point, like in every single pregame show this year, whether it's in Washington or the rainy game back in Chicago. I think overall the Bears specialists have done a pretty good job getting a handle on what they're kicking in terms of the elements, how cold and how windy it impacts Cairo Santos here. It remains to be seen, but it seems like he'll be in that 50-plus range if they need him to be.
Well, just on the other side of the field, just a reminder, Brandon McManus has not had a good year. He's 3 for 7 from 40 to 49. He's 2 for 4 from 50-plus. So, if this thing does come down to the kicking game, big field goal late, I wouldn't exactly bet the house that he's gonna knock it through.
Like that Ohio State kicker last time.
To be honest, I would be disappointed if we're not, regardless of what happens in the game later, if we're not talking about Bears special teams having a better game than the Packers special teams, because even though they've been an issue at times for the Bears this year, the Packers special teams have been a problem for like a decade. Like they always have these issues on special teams, and they brought Rich Bisaccia in a few years ago to kind of fix everything. And I thought, like, home run hire, that should fix it. But it still really hasn't been the case. They've still struggled at times, a lot actually this year with special teams. So that's an area that we're probably not talking a lot about. But the Bears should have a small advantage today, Johnsy, when it comes to that, especially with your point about how they've handled the weather and have made these adjustments the last few weeks.
So what you're saying is Devin Duvernay should have a big day. Maybe Luther Burden. I would like to see Luther Burden actually have more of an expanded role in the kicking game. Like, I know he could have an expanded role in the passing game with Roma Dunze out, but I know this is a question you've had, Adam, like just in terms of Luther Burden's draft selection, his overall value. I thought he'd have more impact on special teams this year, but we're just for whatever reason, haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that Luther Burden is on the depth chart when it comes to returns, but I believe he's a third-string punt returner behind Olamide Zaccheaus, who's actually the backup. And then on kick return, because there's really 2 return spots now, he is Duvernay's backup, where they've been using Blackwell opposite of Duvernay, and then I think Olamide backs up 39. So he's on there, but I don't really feel confident that all of a sudden we're going to get our wish on that one and he gets some opportunities. It'd be great to see, though.
There's plenty on Luther's plate today, stepping in as much as he's going to be stepping in, you would think, for Rome. Johnsy, just talk to us a minute about Ben Johnson and how he handled this week with Matt LaFleur, because there was the big moment when he got hired and he loves beating Matt LaFleur, but he has a chance today to become only the second first-year head coach in Bears history to win 10 of their first 13. You have to go back to 1920 when George Halas went 10-1-2. with the Chicago Staleys for this to ever happen again. And I think he's just kind of downplayed the Green Bay thing or the LaFleur thing as best as he could, but there's also sort of been an edge to him as well. That's at least how I've seen it. What did you take away from Ben?
Yeah, well, I'll just go back to my initial impression of when he said that. Like, I'm glad that there's a head coach with the Chicago Bears who's willing to inject some energy into the rivalry just the way he did, dating all the way back there, like having the confidence to stay in the division, having the confidence to say that at his introductory press conference, and knowing in today's age how much that's going to spread. Of course, he knew the Packers were going to hear that. Of course, Matt LaFleur would be asked about that, nonstop from then until now. And especially, this late into the season, it becomes more of a storyline with the Bears and Packers both in contention in the division. So I'm happy that we're covering a coach who embraces what this rivalry could be, what the Packers have meant to this rivalry, and how it's become so one-sided. So to have that confidence to say that, knowing that I think everything Ben Johnson does is pretty intentional, like I am all for that. I think the Bears have lacked that type of energy, lacked that type of confidence for a long time, especially, in charge with the Chicago Bears. So I think it's refreshing. I think it's rejuvenating. I think it adds some juice to this rivalry.
Well, I mean, think about it. Last time this team was at Lambeau Field, they had lost 10 games in a row. And the next time they return, they've now won 9 of their last 10. And, as Wayne Larrivee said when we talked to him the other day, they beat them last year at Lambeau. And, Tyson said it. I don't even know who was coaching, what position, And so this is a totally different Bears team that this Packers team has to gear up for. But the Packers do have Micah Parsons, which is a new element to this rivalry as well that we have to brace ourselves for.
10 out of the last 13 if you include them winning at Lambeau.
Yeah, exactly.
John, did George McCaskey do his little jog around the stands this morning?
I didn't see him, but it is awfully cold. And if he did, he was covered up. Usually he doesn't wear like a bright orange Bears hoodie or bright orange Bears jacket. You're right. He usually does that, but I didn't see him this time, Adam.
Well, I was just thinking, he did it before the game last year at Lambeau, so superstition, you would think he had to do it again.
Let's go, George. Do your role today. Get in there. Put some. What do they call those again? That I keep on forgetting their names. In the
hand warmers.
No.
Hand warmers.
No, the thing in the toilet.
Urinal cakes.
Urinal cakes. Get the urinal cake in.
That's
there.
an allegedly thing.
Alleged thing. Hey,
John's.
Yes, Greg.
I'm so stressed out. I want to throw up. Are you feeling the same way, or what's your vibes going into this game?
No, I'm thinking I'm going to grab a brat and maybe some pop and sit down at my seat and enjoy it. In RC, no RC up here, but enjoy a meaning. Like we haven't covered a lot of meaningful football games between these two teams in a long time, since 2018. That's the last impactful Bears Packers game I can remember covering this late in the season. So I think it's something special. It's been something missing from this rivalry, and now Ben Johnson is part of this rivalry. So let's see where he takes it.
Let's do a little trivia here. How many times in the Bears-Packer rivalry have they met when both teams have a winning percentage 700 or greater?
I know the answer.
You do? Do you know the answer?
How many times?
How many times? Don't look.
I don't know. This is the first time ever.
First time ever?
3.
3?
7.
7?
I'm going to say twice.
Okay. The answer, interesting that you said you knew when you don't know.
Maybe I didn't hear the question. I didn't hear the question.
The answer is this is the third time ever.
Third time what?
That they've met when both.
First time what?
They've met when they both have a win percentage 70% or greater.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear the question.
Yeah, okay.
One of them was 2010.
Yeah.
Our rookie year.
So, it just speaks to it. But, one of my friends texted me today. It's like, I told my kids that this is the biggest game in their Bears' lives today. And I get that and how much it sets the Bears up. But I'm also like, you play them again in 2 weeks at home.
That makes it even crazier.
So it's if you lose it, like the Packers are supposed to win today. You just can't get swept in this. You got to get one. So I don't feel like it's got to be doom and gloom as long as they play them competitive today and they're right there. I feel like the Bears can. I mean, obviously you want to win the game 1,000 times over, but if you live in reality, what's coming? You got to see them again in 2 weeks.
I thought it was the stat. Sorry, go ahead, Johns.
I was just going to say, Carm, to your point, like, we called that game up in Minnesota for the Bears a big game. We called this last game against the Eagles like a statement game. That was a big game. You know why they're all big games now? Because the Bears are a winning football team, and they all have meaning now. There's implications in terms of the postseason and standings, where they are in the NFC North and also the NFC. Like, they're all big now because the Bears are a winning football team, and we haven't covered or seen this in quite a bit.
I also think that if, let's not just minimize things because of whatever the preseason expectations were. You're in the 1 seed right now.
Yep.
And to me,
That's what I mean.
And
They're all
to me,
big.
it is crucial that you stay ahead of the Rams because that is like the one team that looks really, really good consistently. Last week, obviously, being a pretty significant exception, but the Packers lost to the Panthers too. My point is, of all the teams that you talk home field advantage, that team coming from Southern California, the difference of them having to come to Soldier Field in the playoffs versus you going to L.A., I think would make a huge difference. So I still think it's a massive game today, regardless of if they play the Packers in 2 weeks, because you want to maintain that position.
It's my understanding through my research team that because the Rams lost to the Panthers, that the Bears would own the NFC tiebreaker over the Rams.
That's why they're ahead of them now.
Well, no, I'm saying at the end.
Oh, like they can't regain it
Correct.
no matter what?
Correct.
Well, I think the confidence of this team is at an all-time high level, and you beat Green Bay at their home field. Just the confidence, the continued confidence, and going into this playoff push. So I think you got to treat this game like a must-win. Honestly, even though it is not, you have to treat it that way. And I think if they can come out with a win, I mean, just the Chicago train, the fans, the players, the coaching staff. I mean, it would be huge for this city.
And Corey, there's players in that locker room. Cole Kmet, Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker can tell you how much this game means to them and should mean to everyone in that locker room. So coming out of here victorious, I think will go a long way in terms of building confidence and really getting everything that Ben Johnson wants to get going, really going.
The Seahawks went ballistic, too, in the second half and beat Atlanta 37-9. So the Bears right now are actually a half game back of Seattle, who's 10-3, and the Bears are 9-3. Of course, that they can rectify that situation by beating Green Bay. Johnsy, we'll talk to you in the postgame, my friend. Enjoy that bride. Enjoy that soda. Enjoy watching a very meaningful football game up at Lambeau.
See you, boys.
All right.
Vibes are high today, baby.
How many brats did you have on a Green Bay coverage? Were you a one brat or are you a two brat?
Just one. Get the sauerkraut on there. They always have the brats are usually at halftime.
Oh.
Good spread before the game. The Thanksgiving meal there was amazing. The year they played on Thanksgiving. I know that's what everybody's here for, so I can keep going.
Well, I like food. Everybody loves food.
Yeah.
We also love when you talk to the Bears center in the locker room, so why don't we do that? This was Hoge earlier in the week hanging out with our guy Drew Dahlman.
Drew, I'm just wondering when a team has a talent like Micah Parsons, who they will sometimes basically just freelance, stand up there almost like an off-the-ball linebacker and let him decide what to do. Just how unique of a challenge is that for a center, specifically an offensive line, in trying to sort out everybody's responsibilities at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, tough to talk about it without talking about scheme and things like that. But yeah, great player, and you certainly have to have a plan for him. Something that takes attention and effort to handle. So yeah, we're preparing and doing what we can to be ready.
Yeah, I realize you can't be too specific, but that is pretty unique, right? Like, there's not a lot of edge rushers that are just going to kind of have the freedom to essentially go wherever they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like there's probably a handful of guys throughout the NFL that it seems like you see that kind of stuff on film. But yeah, I see the sample that we're playing each year, so it's kind of hard to say what everybody's doing.
I assume an easy answer would be to just keep running the ball the way you guys have been running the ball.
Yeah, it'd be great. That'd be awesome. But yeah, we're happy to win in whatever way we need and in whatever manner we need to do it in. So we're ready to go.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right. Woot, I want to ask you about maybe some of the rules and the blocking assignments that like, what would you do if you're the Bears? Because we've seen this throughout the season. Micah Parsons having these, a handful of reps every game where they they almost use him more as an off-the-ball linebacker. And it seems like maybe there are actually rules he's following and he knows where he's going and his teammates do. But it seems like they're literally letting him hey, pick your matchup at the line of scrimmage. You pick the gap you want to rush. And that's what I was trying to get at with Drew, and I realized he can't give away their game plan and explain how they're going to do it. But I'm just curious, like, is that something where you assign one lineman to be like, all right, well, when he does this, you block him, and then we'll have the running back chip or help or something? Like, I'm just trying to think about what the game plan possibly could be against that.
So a lot of times, like, they have the slide based on, basically where the running back goes or the strength of the formation. I guarantee you they're having some kind of thing on Micah Parsons. Whatever side he's going to, they're sliding there or chip help in the middle sometimes when he's matched up there, because sometimes they'll show looks where he comes in the A or B gap. So they're going to have a plan, whether that's doubling him every time. If I'm Ben Johnson, I'm not letting him affect this game. So anytime he's out there as a rusher, chip help, right? I'm having Cole Kmet, Durham Smythe, guys like that. Darnell Wright even. I am not letting Micah Parsons beat me in this game. And then in the running game, I'm going at him. Double teams. Like, the way they've been running the football, you need to say like this, hey, Micah Parsons, you're a great pass rusher, but we are more physical than you. That's how you beat a guy like Micah Parsons.
Isn't it nice to know that the Bears have a coaching staff that you can say that with confidence, that they're going to go into this game? Yes, Micah Parsons is one of the best players in the league, but our coaching staff has a game plan.
100%.
And you have the confidence to know and trust that will happen, as opposed to coaching staffs that would leave rookie left tackle Karan Amagaji on an island in Minnesota and let him just get buried over and over and over and over. This coaching staff, I completely trust. They'll have a game plan. Now, Micah is good enough to break that game plan at times, but then we have a coaching staff I know I can trust to make the adjustments.
Yeah, he's going to make his plays, but if you can just limit him, and I think there's going to be a lot of screens and draws in a game like today. I want to keep him off balance, get the ball out quick early, get him frustrated. Anytime you can chip him and hit him in the ribs, hit him in the ribs. Get him frustrated in a game like today.
Let's go Ben Johnson. Let's go back to the locker room. I had a little Friday conversation with Durham Smythe. Just tried to lean into what's been going on in this run game and how successful it's been. And he's, 81's been doing a lot of heavy lifting. So here's Durham from Friday.
So, Durham, how would you just sort of explain how this run game has come together? You've been a big part of it at times, of course, and you guys seem like there's a certain instinctness that just looks like you've worked on it a ton from the naked eye.
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of a lot of things. We've used a lot of motion this year to put us in advantageous, angles and situations. There's a lot of talent up front. Our offensive line's, I think, the best in the NFL. And then when you mix up the schemes that we run with the wide zone, the gap, all of it combined, it creates a pretty productive run game.
The tight end specifically, though, are you guys asked to do more here than you've ever been asked to before?
Personally, no, because I came from an offense where it was similar. It was a wide zone scheme where a lot of it came down to the tight ends being at the point of attack. And we did a lot of it, so I think that's something I'm used to, and I think Ben is from not the same coaching tree, but his mindset is somewhat similar in the run game. So it's something I'm used to, and I think these guys have done similar things too.
I think when you think about the end of the season in cold weather games, like, it probably is even more important that you guys are good at this.
Yeah, absolutely. With snow and wind and things of that nature, you have no idea how it's going to, be on game day at the end of the year. So when you can rely on a run game where it doesn't matter really the circumstances, it definitely helps.
Last one, first time in this rivalry game wearing a Bears uniform. Have they been pounding it in? Hey, this game matters all week long, like that?
Oh yeah, and obviously being around for a while, you understand from the outside looking in how cool of a rivalry it is, and it's definitely something that's emphasized not just this week, but from the day I got here. So it's cool to be a part of, and it'll be fun.
Do you have a favorite block this year?
Favorite block overall? Oh man, I don't know. A lot of it's just the wide zone stuff. It doesn't go as maybe it's not the highlights that Darnell's making and stuff like that, but it's just setting the point of attack.
Execution, baby.
That's right.
Thanks a lot.
And that was Durham Smythe right there, but the tight end position has been unbelievable this year, right? Their coach, Jim Dre, we go way back to our high school days, our rivalry. But the way he has them playing, there's a big reason why this running game has really gone off this year. And I think the tight ends, you look at in today's football, tight ends don't like the block. It is what it is. They like to catch the ball. But I think you got three guys in Durham Smythe, Cole Kmet, and Colston Loveland that will block with some of the best of them.
No
so
question.
some of the players that we've been going against every week, They put their face in there. They're driving people off the ball. And I think that's something that's old school, tough, smash mouth football, tough guys out there. And that's what you love from your tight ends nowadays, because everybody just wants to catch the ball. But sometimes you got to do the dirty work. So hats off to Jim Dre, the original Jersey tough guy in the Monongai Conference and the whole bit. He played for the rival team, but the way he has them playing is unbelievable.
And we'll throw a Dan Roshar in there too. I was watching Darnell Wright was on, I think the podcast is called The Set. And, yeah, Darnell underlined how Roshar met with him in the offseason and was like, look, man, you're already a really good player, but I'm going to help you become great. And, like Darnell.
And he said he had never had a coach talk to him like that.
Never had, and it meant a lot to him because, like, he's still only a second-year player at that point, and there's with some up and down. And so just to have somebody underline, hey, man.
It pissed me off when he said that he had never had a coach tell him that. Like, what are we doing?
But that's a lot of these coaches nowadays.
I'm trying to celebrate Dan Roshar. You're going to go back to the Flus era.
But that's
no, but
he's
got the Bears have not had a great run of offensive line coach. Shout out to Juan Castillo, who just got hired at Syracuse the other day. So
that piggybacks why Dan Roshar has been so great.
You following the career of Juan Castillo? That's amazing.
Chris Evans following the career of Juan Castillo, who sends me every update on Juan Castillo. That's out there.
Shout out Juan Castillo. Yeah. That's amazing. Hey, listen, it's better now. It is better now.
Thank God.
Yeah. Should we put our game predictions on the screen? Let's do it. All right.
Oh, boo this man. Boo, Bragg. I feel like I'm going to be sick.
Carman, Greg are haters.
See, don't be.
What happened last time, Hoge?
Don't
right in the middle,
just
right
like
here.
last week.
Let's go.
Just like last week.
Don't be cesspool.com. We made our picks because we have an obligation to do so. It's
you lost in tennis.
Don't go to that website.
You lost in tennis. You're going to lose again today.
I hope I do.
Boy.
I very, very much hope I do. But look, it's a big task going up there today. I think the Bears are going to get them, come back down here. But I picked the Pack today by one in a tight, amazing football game, and I hope I'm wrong. Braggs, on the other hand, wrote a dissertation, three pages, and then decided you picked them and then you went against it. Can you explain yourself?
No, I really can't explain myself other than to say
explain anything.
I'm an emotional train wreck. I'm a complete idiot. And personally, I don't want to do these predictions anymore. I'm tired of it. We've been doing them for 4 years, and it was a lot easier to do them when this didn't mean anything every week. And now I just want to watch the game. Quit bugging me about what I think. I'm holding this stress chain in my hand. I'm going to die. I just want to get to kickoff. I don't care. Just get on with this crap.
Why don't you just do the rank thing and pick them every week?
Because I can't do that either. There's like jinxes involved.
Yeah.
I can't. This is just too much for me. I am going to die before.
It was
this
weird.
season's
He
over.
used to brag about the predictions when he was in first place. Now he doesn't want to do them anymore.
Yeah, he's tied for first.
Well, you're still behind both of us,
today,
Hoge, while we're on the subject.
All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it was big of me to not bring up Purdue's loss yesterday. I promised I wouldn't bring it up on the show, and I didn't do it.
Good
so
job.
I just wanted to shout out myself for that.
That was embarrassing.
Notre Dame didn't get in the playoff today, but my daughter won her swim race today.
Yeah.
Addison, way to go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Gave her a good pep talk this morning. Very
Would you
proud
thought her
of her.
swim fast?
Okay.
Good, better swim.
Congrats to Addie, who was awesome at the Loyola game yesterday. We had a ton of fun out there. Shout out to our entire crew that made it. That was fun. We could talk about that more another time. But real quick, let's get our super chats in before kickoff. Q Harlan, $2. The Bears will win. Just beat the Pack. All right, Q Harlan, appreciate your consistency. Thank you for that. $5. T. Just Braggs and Carm picked the Bears to lose today. Let that be known. Frauds. We are frauds.
We're
terrible frauds.
Frauds.
We should be taken down to the square and drawn and quartered. All right.
I don't think you can say that.
I mean, people are just like very, very mad that they're not a Bears fan. Okay, just relax. Pigeon Coop, $20. Let's go, boys. CHGO, the best Bears content on the planet and the moon. We got to win this one. I haven't been this excited, nervous for a Bears game in a long, long time. Love what you guys do. Keep it up. F Green Bay. Claws up, bear down. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
You want to do D-Tech Nation?
Sure. D-Tech Nation, $50. A lot of awesome super chats.
Yeah.
Can't wait to find out what's in that bag that's been sitting there our whole show. All in on the Bears today. Let's make a statement. Papa needs a new harmonica.
I
Run
do.
it right at Micah.
He
Burden
doesn't.
and Loveland shine today. Bear down.
For the record, I did take the 10-1 bear down bet, so I've got him over there, and I also put some shekels on Cole Kmet to have 50 yards receiving today.
Don't try to come back to the non-fraud side. You're a fraud.
Fraud.
Yeah.
100% fraud.
Fraudulent.
Jakey, new shoes, $25.04. Very specific. Huge game, huge chance to get some separation in the division. Put some real pressure on these bozos. Counting on Mangunga and Swift to carry the load in the cold bear down, baby.
All right, final thing before we go, we are having a live watch along for the entire game, so make sure you stay locked into this channel. But this is from Jake over here, who says this is Steven and Jake's player of the game. I haven't even looked at this yet,
Let's
so
go,
I don't know.
DJ.
Go DJ.
That's my DJ.
Go DJ.
That's my DJ.
I like
signed
it.
DJ. Is that a signed DJ?
That's on.
Signed DJ.
What else you got in there?
There's a golf shirt in here.
CHGO golf shirt.
Hey, we're doing the
I
live
won.
watch along in 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah, final super chat from TJ Johnston. We had a bunch of super chats in the Brick by Brick show on Thursday, and TJ wanted this to be said here on the pregame for $5. The question was recently asked, why is this different than 2018? Because if this team loses in the playoffs, it doesn't feel like a wasted season.
That's right.
But, hey, the sky's the limit for what this team can do this
Laying
season.
foundations, the biggest difference.
I have a feeling that opinion will change when we actually get to that playoff game.
Yep.
But
We got a different head coach now.
Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are greater than Matt Nagy and Mitch Trubisky. Everybody knows that. That's a big difference.
Big
All right.
facts.
Hey, watch along coming in 5 minutes, Steven. 5 minutes? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
we'll be right here. We're gonna have fun. Use it as a second screen. We'll
Let's
get you
go.
synced up. Bears, Packers.
Let's go!
Get a barf.
We all silly like the mayor.